Welcome, gang. Today's educational episode is about the fake U-shaped recovery you hear about in the news by the politicians, by the central bankers, and by people that are buying the politicians that we're going to have a U-shaped recovery, ladies and gentlemen. The stock market is going up, okay? We're also going to be talking about 32%, 30% plus of Americans are behind on their mortgage payments just in July, which is just a few days ago. So this is not my statistics. This is NBC, the people that love to watch the stream media. This is their statistics saying that 32% of Americans didn't make their freaking house payments in this month. I'm not talking about last month or the month before. I'm not even talking about what's going to be happening in the future, but just this month, 32% of people didn't make their house payments. So this is why in 2016, I said, subject to heaven is going to be upon us very, very soon. And here we are. Back in 2016, I could foresee this thing happening. Not the bug, but the bug is just a cover up, in my opinion, about what's happening to the dollar, what's happening to infinite printing of money, what's happening to massive inflations, and the wealth exchange that's happening, okay, in America from working class, middle class, and it's shifting into, the billionaires, the people that own the five, six people that own all the TV shows, all the newspapers, uh, and anyone that's close to the printing press are getting the money before inflation hits. And, they're getting the wealth, they're getting the bailout about me and you. Wow, the average person in America cannot make their house payments. Now, this is the best opportunity ever to be a real estate investor, in my opinion, okay? Because we have millions and millions of people unemployed, over 40 million people, according to the government statistics. We have 30%, because if they add that, if you add up how many Americans are there and you do 32% of people didn't make payments, well, that's millions and millions and millions and millions of people. That's why when NBC comes out, they just say 32%. They don't say 100 million people didn't make their mortgage payments last month or this month. I'm sorry, July. Okay. So when you add up millions of people unemployed, millions of people not making this month payment, millions of people have missed their car payments. Okay. And now everywhere you go, it doesn't matter what state you're in, I am seeing not only small businesses close down, I'm seeing medium-sized businesses close down, and I'm also seeing large businesses close down. I posted on my Facebook group. If you're not there, join it totally for free. It's the real estate discussions. Go to community.mrnofluff.com. Anyways, I posted there. I went to a Starbucks. They just opened up maybe like 3 years ago. Really big location. They closed down. Starbucks, okay? Guys, click the like button. Share this message. It definitely helps out with the algorithms. I really appreciate you guys and gals for doing that, okay? Now, even big companies are closing down. Like I brought to you 24-hour fitness. I brought to you um, Macy's. I brought to you so many, guys. It's hard to keep track of all these big companies going belly up bankruptcy because every day you got Wendy's, you got Pizza Hut, and so on, okay? They're all coming. But if you're watching the news, they're saying, hey, well, it's going to go up. It's going to go up. If you're watching the stock market, it looks like it's going up. It's going up. So go ahead and click the like button. Appreciate you. Okay. But here's the truth, in my opinion, that this is just a repeat of what happened back in 1929. This is a repeat of exactly what happened with the stocks crashing and a fake recovery, and then boom, comes down. But the difference is that in the 1929, 1930, that depression took a while for it to happen. But today, because of Big Brother stepping in and taking our rights, we're seeing massive businesses being forced to close. We're seeing massive fear pumped into the air. And what's happening is that, millions of people have lost their jobs. Millions of small businesses are closing down. Millions of restaurants are going to be closing down. Commercial real estate is in big trouble. Like I just brought to you Starbucks that just very successful just closed down, and so on and on and on. We're going to see an avalanche of not a U-shaped recovery, but a down-shaped crash or depression, if not the greatest depression America has faced. And the reason it's going to be the greatest recession America has faced is because it's happening so fast. It's happening by the might of the government behind it, right? They're pushing it to go in there because it's just, in my opinion, just a cover up, right? Um, of what's really happening. That before we used to print out millions of dollars for bailout. Next was billions of dollars for bailout. And now we're at $7 trillion for bailout. And we're at the end of the collapse of the dollar at the world reserve currency. And that's why you're seeing the moves that Bitcoin is making. You're seeing the moves that gold is making, okay? Because more and more people around the world are losing confidence in the dollar because we're printing it out. We're printing it out, and all these other countries are holding bags of the dollar because if they want to buy petrol, if they want to buy the fuel that every nation needs, well, they got to have the dollar because there was this little thing going on with OPEC where we made every country in the world have dollars to be able to get what we call petrodollar to get the oil. And if they don't have it, if they have Canadian money, well, they can't get it. So this is how we came into world reserve currency. And as we dilute, as we print, not only are we going to cause massive suffering in America, not only are we going to split off even further the have and the have-nots, not only are we going to create civil unrest, we already seen it here. We've seen it in France. We've seen it in so many different places. We've seen it in Israel. People just can't, maintain. People just can't maintain. They have a college degree. They're working 40, 60 hours. Can't make it. Mommy has to work and daddy has to work. Can't make it. They got to put it on their credit card. And with this type of, and it's all because of a monetary system, right? It's all because it's multidimensional, but one main dimension is our monetary system because the dollar every every day it's being printed, it loses value. It's not like, for example, Bitcoin is the total inverse. It's the total opposite. There's only 21 million, and as time goes by it becomes deflationary. It shrinks in a sense, right? It doesn't shrink because there's only 21 million out there, but it'll never be more than 21 versus the US dollar. First was millions of bailouts, then billions, now trillions. Who knows what it's going to be, which means that there's unlimited infinity printing can happen. And what that means is it's taking your mamas, my cousins, my life energy away from us while we're working to have a surplus of dollars so we can put into savings, so we can put it into the stock market, so we can put it into the real estate, so we can put it into whatever to have prosperity, right? Instead, that money is being sucked away from us without us realizing it because of all the printing that's happening, okay? And that's why we're seeing major moves in Bitcoin. That's why we're seeing major moves in uh, gold and, and so on. Now, that said, I think this is the best time ever to be alive because of two reasons. Okay. Number one, there's so many motivated people out there. So if you ever wanted to own a Tesla, well, guess what? There are people out there with Teslas that can't make the car payments. If you ever wanted to own real estate, guess what? There's millions of people that have real estate, 33, 32% according to CBS, or that's the news channel that did the poll, that 32% of Americans were behind on payments. So if you wanted to buy real estate, if someone wants to buy real estate, well, guess what? There's millions of people behind on real estate. If someone wanted to buy commercial, guess what? There's millions of businesses not paying their commercial landlord. And we see that everywhere from cheesesteak factory, big corporations, small guys, and so on. I mean, all these businesses that have retail shops and the restaurants are closing down. Well, what do you think is going to happen to the landlord? Well, the landlord owes to the bank. I mean, the bankers own everything in America. Even the billionaires are not really billionaires, they're just indebted billions of dollars. The millionaires are really not millionaires, they're just indebted millions of dollars. And therefore, they have slave masters, and the slave masters is the banks. So the banks own everything. So you go to a really nice commercial mall, right? Like the biggest commercial mall in America is 2 months behind on their mortgage, right? The biggest mall, I think the name is called Mall of America. They're the biggest mall in America, and their monthly payments are it's like something billion. I can't remember the top of my head. I read it like a couple of weeks ago. 1 month of payments is in the billions, and they're 2 months behind. So they're billions of dollars behind. And the question is, who do they owe this money to? Right? How can a big company that has the biggest location, why are they behind? Why don't they own their property free and clear, or have massive equity so they can sell or whatever? Okay, because everyone's just indebted. It's just, the bankers own everything. People think they own because if they have a certain type of FICO score, then they can just borrow. Because the truth is, most people in America don't even own their cars. If the banks call their loan in, you will see millions of Americans walking because they don't own their car. I don't personally know anyone around me that owns their car besides myself, free and clear. Not, I mean, everyone I look around, friends, family, people mentoring students, whatever, they all owe debt on their cars, right? They owe debt on their cars, and and what that means is, sorry guys, someone messaged me. And what that means is no one owns shit in America. We have all these things. And as credit crunch comes in, as jobs get taken away, right? As Americans lose their income, the debt still sticks in place. The debt's not going to go anywhere. Other things can be taken away from you, but the debt's going to be there. And you see that in the real estate business. You see that in the commercial. You see that in the residential. So, in my opinion, back in 2016, I said gold was the play. Everyone laughed at me, and I said in 2016, going further, the real estate is so bubbly that it's going to burst, and it's going to burst so crazy that I'm out. But there was tons of guys on YouTube that have hundreds of thousands of followers got into the game in 2016. God bless them. They got into the game in 2016, guys. They thought that was the best time to be a real estate investor. Well, I say it was the worst time. And 2019, 2020, best time to be a real estate investor, in my opinion. Hello, Bird. Because there's so many motivated sellers out there. There's so many motivated sellers out there, and there's millions of more to come, which brings me to the next phase of why the stock market's going to crash. The second wave of the stock market is going to come. But before I get into that, I want to let you know that if you guys are interested in being your dreams, if you're interested in real estate, you're interested in flipping houses, being a landlord, buying houses subject to OPM, creative real estate investing, lease options, if you're interested in taking your moving company, your construction company, your karate business to the next level, then join me in my mastermind where I help you be your dreams without debt. Okay. And you can join right now for $1, right? For $1. We meet every Saturday, 4 meetings a month. Abundance.mrnofluff.com. Abundance.mrnofluff.com. Okay. Now, going to the stock market, why do I think we're about to hit the second leg of the stock market down is because there's a delusion. What's happening in the real world, people are crying and there's blood in the streets and there's fear in the air. But in the stock market world, you have people singing and drinking and dancing, why the Titanic is sinking, right? So that's why I know there's going to be a major bloodbath coming because I go down to the street and my Starbucks is closed down. I go down to the street, my local business owner that had a coffee shop is closed down. I go down to the street, the guy that I used to eat out, they closed down. But I look on the stock market, Starbucks mark tickers going up and up, but their stores are closing down. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. If business was so good, they would be opening new locations. But no, not only they're not opening new locations, they're closing down even locations that were there that were good, but their ticker's going up, right? The ticker's going up. And that's why I know that there's a delusion of what's happening in the markets. There's going to be significant pain coming into pensions. Millions of teachers, millions of firefighters are going to be losing their pensions. There's going to be massive taxes coming your way and my way. Property taxes are going up. Many states are already thinking about raising their property taxes anywhere from 3% to 10% and more. We're going to be getting into situations where our states are broke, like literally they're broke. There's many states in America are literally broke. We're getting in a situation where we're going to be automating many of the factories, many of the small businesses, even your McDonald's. Instead of having someone take your order with the mask, you're going to be just typing it into a something, right? I've seen it already. So we're going to a phase where millions of people are going to be getting hurt. The debt they have is high. The asset they own is low because of what's going to be happening. And there's going to be millions of motivated sellers, just like I said back in 2016, guys. Okay. So if you guys have any questions, comment, join me in the real estate discussion Facebook group. It's totally free. Go to community.mrnofluff.com. All right. Uh, Jody says, what's going on? Jody says, I have everything paid off and I pay everything with cash. Much love to you. And I think that's exactly, in my opinion, every American should be. Okay. Um, debt is just a fake. You're dancing with the devil, and the devil looks really beautiful now, but wait till later. Wait till that alcohol buzz is gone away. You're gonna realize that she's not that beautiful, and she's the devil, guys. Okay. And because of that, millions of great companies are going to be gone from Pizza Huts to Wendy's to Macy's to, guys, so many J.C. Penney's to Sears, and I mean, so many are going to be gone because they got over leveraged and they focus on the growth versus being debt free. Okay, so don't forget about the Abundance Club. Join up at abundance.mrnofluff.com. We meet every Saturday, life changing. Okay, and don't forget about the Facebook free community at community.mrnofluff.com, guys. All right, I'll take some questions and comments if you have any. MIPT said, so what would you say this is a good time to go after pre-foreclosures? Well, what I'm going after is pre-foreclosures, right? Pre-foreclosures. And what that means is these are off-market properties, okay? They're not listed with a real estate agent. They're not on the MLS. They're not on bank-owned properties. They're not at the auction, and no one knows that they exist. So it's going to require skills like marketing, skills like sales, negotiation, and that's what I teach in my profit sharing, and also that's what I teach in my abundance club, guys. Okay, the mentorship, how to find off-market properties without spending thousands of dollars in marketing through creative guerrilla marketing. Okay, that's free or almost for free. Yeah, but to answer your question, that's what I'm going after, pre-foreclosure, and there's millions and millions and millions of people behind in payments. The hard part is to find these individuals, and that's called the marketing. Okay. All right, guys, click the like button, share this message. Let me know what state you're in. Let me know what state you're in. Okay, and what are you drinking? I'm drinking some hot tea. All right, someone asked me, okay, what are some good side hustles in this meltdown? Well, any idea that deals with motivated sellers is going to be a great side hustle. For example, the new flip. Okay, you can get it right now at mrnofluff.com. What the new flip does is teaches you how to start a business with just $100 capital, and take that money and grow it exponentially very, very fast. Okay. How much can you grow it? Well, the most I've done is 7x, 700x. What that means is I put 100 in and I made 697 bucks, almost 700% X. So, okay. Uh, that's the max. On average, I'm doing 300%, 400%, 500%. And that's according to what I've talked to my students, they're all at least getting 2 to 3x minimum when they do a deal. So the new flip is a great side hustle for anyone that has a job, doesn't have a job, been laid off, where you invest $100 into yourself, into your business. You have the ability to lose your $100 because if you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to be a real estate investor, there's risk. There's no fluffing that, okay? But what it teaches you to take a risk and have massive up reward with very low down risk because the down risk is you can only lose your $100. I know people that have invested two or $300,000 of not even their own money of hard money lending, and they bought a property and now they're stuck. I know that people that spend two or $300,000 borrowing money from, for example, Wells Fargo to start a restaurant business is bellied up. So now they're indebted two or 300,000. With the new flip, I show you how to start a business in your own backyard without any tools. All you need is just a computer and internet. Sit in front of a computer, copy and paste what I have for you, and just duplicate it. And you invest $100 into your business. You have the ability to 700% that, 500% that, 300%, or 200% it. Depends on the deal. And it's very, very fast. And it doesn't require any skills. You don't need a website. You don't need anything special, right? But all you do need is the new flip. You got to read the book, you got to follow the manual, and watch the training video. So you get all three of it. I normally sell it for $1,000. Right now, you can get it for a special price at MrNoFluff.com, like 90% off, guys. 90% off. Okay. And so to answer that person's question, what is the best side hustle? Anything that deals with motivated sellers, like the new flip, because the new flip, we show you how to deal with motivated sellers. So then you can step your game up after you build yourself 10, 20, 50, 100, whatever you choose, cash to go into the real estate business, because the new flip is like a parallel world of the real estate. It's not real estate, but it teaches you exactly everything what the real estate is, which is buying houses from motivated sellers, buying from motivated sellers, how to inspect, how to negotiate, how to sell, how to filter. It does everything which you need, the skills you need for real estate, but it's very, very simple. It's very, very fast. When my kid turns, she's 3. When she turns like 7 or 8, I'm gonna put her on the new flip so she learns about business and makes money. She learns about sales negotiation. It's very, very simple, and it focuses on motivated sellers. Where can you get the new flip? MyRealEstateDojo.com or MrNoFluff.com. If you have any questions or comments, leave it below. I'll be happy to answer for you. All right, guys, I'm going to be getting out here. Much love. Remember, click the like button, share this message, and let me know what state you're in and if there are motivated sellers in your state. I'd love to hear it. Peace.